Customer reviews aren't just opinions, they're warnings. When the system fails, the people speak. And today, we speak for everyone who's been taken advantage of, overlooked, and ignored. This is more than a review. This is a reality check. Welcome to Gripline USA, where your voice finally echoes back.
News update. System failure. It felt like I was trapped in a rerun of Lost in Space. Every warning light flashing like a red alert. Components failing like a ship losing power mid-galaxy. And the only one with answers? That smooth-talking salesman. Like a space medic with duct tape, quick to patch it, slow to explain. One breakdown after another, and I hadn't even left Earth.
Do reviews matter? Yes. One bad experience, one honest review, it adds up fast. What's your story? Ever been through something like this?
Nightmare from hell. It all started with Midpoint Auto Group.
Midpoint Auto Group. Hey, it's Jonathan, how can I help you?
I seen your ad on Facebook. My name is LaShawn Morgan.
Okay, Mrs. Morgan, what kind of car are you looking for?
I'm looking for a reliable, fuel-efficient car. I have $1,000 to put down and need something that's great on gas and dependable for everyday use. What can you show me in that range?
Absolutely. We've got a solid range of fuel-efficient vehicles to fit your needs and budget. With $1,000 down, I can show you options like Kia for reliability, Mercedes and BMW if you're looking for style and performance. Let me ask you just a couple quick questions. Do you have any repos on your record? That just helps me match you with the best financing options available.
No, Jonathan, I do not have any repos. I actually paid my last car off.
Good, good. Now do you have proof of income? And is your bank account older than 3 months?
Yes, I have all of the information you need, proof of income, bank statements, everything's in order and current. I'm prepared.
I can have you riding out today. Just tell me what time works for your test drive. And make sure you ask for Jonathan when you get here.
I have to work tomorrow, but I'll be just down the street from the lot. I get off at 5 and can head straight there. It's only about 15 minutes away.
Great, I'll have everything ready for you. Just bring your driver's license or ID and any other necessary documents. See you tomorrow after 5.
So, I said thank you and hung up the phone, thinking I was already approved. I was in the income bracket just like he said, and I had all the documents. I was just smiling, didn't know I was walking straight into a trap. Morning came and I was excited. I just wanted to get through my workday so I could head over and pick up my new car. I grabbed all the paperwork I needed. License was already in my purse, down payment loaded on my debit card, and I headed out with a smile, thinking this was finally the day. It seemed like nothing was going right that day. Traffic was bumper to bumper, and I was already running behind. I was driving the rental from Enterprise, a reliable option I went with after my old car broke down about a month before. But let me tell you, that rental was eating me alive, $38 a day, plus $22 for insurance, every single day. That's over $60 a day just to get to work. My money felt like it vanished into thin air. Don't get me wrong. Enterprise was great, and they had solid deals, but I'd been in that car too long. But I was more than ready to get out of the rental and into something of my own. I finally made it to the car lot around 5:30 p.m., thinking it would be quick, just in and out. Jonathan was supposed to have everything ready. All he had to do was verify my documents. I choose the car and test drive it, sign the contract, hand over the money, and drive off. Simple, right? But nope, that wasn't the case at all. Even though I had been texting him while I was on the way, he didn't have any of the paperwork together. We ended up doing the paperwork together. It was a lot. I was so tired I didn't even catch the part about the automatic kill switch. Completely missed that. Jonathan took the paperwork to the finance department at Midpoint, and it felt like I sat there for an hour waiting. When he finally came back, he had a list of cars in his hand. He said, "Good news.
You've got a long list to choose from. Bad news, you'll need $500 more."
So, they didn't honor the ad from Facebook, even though the list clearly showed $1,000 down. He told me I could still take the car that night.
Just bring the other $500 back in 7 days.
I agreed, even though deep down, I knew that was going to hurt. Because the car note was due 7 days after that. The test drive was smooth, and since I had to pay that extra $500, I went ahead and chose the BMW. Now I'm laughing to myself, feeling glamorous. But what I drove off that lot was a ticking time bomb wrapped in a fresh car scent. They had electrical tape on the rearview mirror, holding it on. Shoe polish smeared across the black interior, to fake that new car shine. The sun's melting that lie all over my hands, my clothes, my seats. You can't make this up, I got proof. They smiled, took my money, and sold me a Band-Aid in a Beamer shell. The very next day check engine light came on. ABS light, brake light. My morning wasn't any better, since I told Enterprise I was returning the car. They had already reserved it for someone else, which I understand that's normal business. But what wasn't normal was what came next. I had to lift back because my new car couldn't even be driven. It had multiple issues, as you can already see, and on top of that, I was without transportation for 2 whole weeks. I couldn't even schedule a repair appointment any sooner. They were booked. No one would answer the phone, just a voicemail. I even texted the salesman to help me get on the repair schedule sooner, and still nothing. No one cared. I had just paid my down payment, and now I couldn't even drive the car or make it to work. I still paid that extra $500 within the 7 days on time. But to add salt to the wound, rent was due too. I was a few days late on the next car payment because I hadn't worked. So, like you're supposed to, I called Midpoint and let them know I'd be a little late. I even told them the exact day I'd be making the payment. They said, okay, we'll schedule your arrangement. Cool, right? But then, 3 days before that arrangement date, I get a call from some guy in collections. He straight up threatened me, said if it wasn't paid by noon on the due date, they were cutting the car off. That's how I found out they even had the power to do that. He had the nerve to call it a courtesy call. It felt more like intimidation. Then get this, he called again the day before the arrangement was even due. You got the money yet? Midpoint, I thought I had an arrangement. Fast forward to the day of the great hailstorm. And I literally mean great, it hit around 4 a.m. and shook the whole block. I rushed out to move the car, and I wasn't the only one. Folks were running everywhere, trying to save their rides from the sky's fury. In the chaos, someone backed out and hit my driver's side right at the front wheel and slightly damaged the bumper. Luckily, the hood was untouched. But then, boom, the suspension light came on. After all I'd already gone through fixing this car, here we go again. Turns out, the person who hit me wasn't even the insured driver. That delayed the process and made it harder to get help. Now the insurance companies had to play the waiting game, figuring out who's at fault. The police did come out and documented the whole incident. I thought I was covered. I had full coverage through Midpoint. So, I called to make a claim and get the car fixed while the other party was being investigated. But no, Midpoint wouldn't even let me file a claim. Midpoint Auto Group wouldn't accept my deductible. They were stalling to see if the other party would pay first. Meanwhile, I was left without a car. I had the $500 deductible in hand, ready. But with no help, and rent rolling around again, that money had to go to keeping a roof over my head. The car sat for weeks. Desperate, I found a mobile mechanic to come out and replace the control arm. But now I was even more behind. Not working had pushed my pay schedule out of sync, and with that, my car note, which is due every 2 weeks. Now the mafia is back. Calling, threatening, hounding me like I'm some kind of stray. I've never experienced anything like this in all my life. At this point, I've got one word for it: buyer's remorse. So now, Midpoint's claims department finally responds. The rep tells me to text over pictures of the damage. At this point, I had no idea the wheel was bent, not until I got down and looked underneath the car. I sent her the photos. She replies, "Don't be surprised if we total it out. I've seen it happen before." Then she goes into a story about how it happened to her. Now I'm nervous. A total loss over a bumper and a light fixture? No way. It felt like a setup. Like a scam. The part needed to fix my wheel cost $132 at AutoZone. That's it. I still have cosmetic damage, but thanks to the mobile mechanic, the car moves again. I asked if they'd reimburse me for the part. Both Midpoint and the third party said no. I'm still behind on payments, still trying to catch up from all this. And I'm the one left holding the bill. This is your moment. A car should come with keys, not chaos. Midpoint sold dreams, then disappeared. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. We're turning real stories into a voice the world can't ignore. Send yours. Be heard. Every review matters. Every voice counts. Your story could save someone else from being scammed.